There are deaths so legendary, so absolutely over the top, that if you pitch them to Hollywood, they tell you to dial it down. But no, these aren't movie scripts. This is actual history. Today, we're diving into 3 people who exited life in ways so insane, so heroic, so you've got to be kidding me, that even the Grim Reaper probably wrote them down as professional inspiration. A giant warrior monk who died standing. A Korean admiral who soloed the entire Japanese Navy with 13 ships. And an American dentist, yes, a dentist, who turned into Rambo for the last 15 minutes of his life. Before we jump in, I need you to do something simple. Tell me which country you're watching from. Let's see just how far History Facts Uncovered is traveling. 1. BENKEI. Our story starts with BENKEI, Japan's walking final boss. A warrior monk so massive he looked like he spawned out of a cheat code. He decided samurai were too arrogant, so he went on a side quest to collect 1,000 swords. By number 999, he runs into a tiny samurai named Minamoto no Yoshitsune, who absolutely wipes the floor with him. BENKEI loses once, he loses again, and by loss number 2, he bows down and says, "Okay, I'm your guy now." From that moment on, they're inseparable, fighting battles, fleeing enemies, and eventually getting trapped in a hopeless last stand inside a castle. Yoshitsune prepares for ritual suicide to keep his honor. Counterfeit BENKEI steps outside and knows exactly what he has to do. Buy time, even if it kills him. He walks to the bridge, the only entrance, and stands there alone, facing hundreds of enemy soldiers. What happens next becomes legend. BENKEI fights until he's riddled with arrows, but he never falls. He dies on his feet, propped up by his spear, staring down the enemy as if daring them to come closer. When the soldiers finally approach, they realize the horrifying truth. BENKEI had been dead for a while. He simply refused to drop. A death not of tragedy, but of pure, ridiculous greatness. 2. Yi Sun-sin. Admiral Yi Sun-shin, Korea's undisputed GOAT. The man never lost a battle. Not rarely, not occasionally. I mean, literally, 0 losses. Corrupt politicians framed him twice, threw him in prison, tortured him, and then fired him. Amazing leadership, really. But when Japan invaded, Korea panicked and begged Yi to return. He looked at the broken remnants of the Navy, just 13 ships, and said, 13 is enough. And incredibly, he was right. Yi lured massive Japanese fleets into traps, blasted them apart with superior tactics, and single-handedly saved the Korean peninsula. Battle after battle, outnumbered sometimes 20-1, he won every single time. Then came the final showdown at Noryang. Yi stood at the front of his flagship, beating the war drum as his ships smashed into the enemy line. The Japanese began to collapse. Suddenly, an enemy musket ball tears into Yi's armpit, the one place without armor. He knows instantly it's fatal. He turns to his son and nephew. "Do not let the soldiers know that I have died. Continue beating the drum." They carry his body below deck, put on his armor, and keep the rhythm going. Without knowing their admiral had fallen, the Korean and Chinese fleet wins the final victory. Yi Sun-shin died the same way he lived, a legend. 3. BEN-EL-SALOMON. BEN-EL-SALOMON was a dentist. And World War II gave him the chance to prove something very important. Never underestimate a guy who spent years listening to people scream in pain. Serving as a field surgeon on Saipan, his medical tent suddenly gets overrun by Japanese soldiers, stabbing the wounded on the ground. Salomon grabs the nearest rifle and instantly turns into the deadliest dentist in military history. He shoots the first attacker, takes down 2 more bursting through the canvas, bayonets another, flooring the next one into oblivion. Then looks at his medics and orders them to evacuate the wounded while he covers their retreat. He grabs a machine gun, sets it up on the front line, and starts mowing down wave after wave of charging soldiers.
Almost 100 fall before him.
Even after being shot and stabbed dozens of times, he drags the gun to a new position to keep firing. Days later, they find him slumped over the weapon, hand still on the trigger, surrounded by 98 enemy bodies. His uniform had 76 bullet and bayonet wounds, 24 he took before he died. He wasn't awarded the Medal of Honor until 2002, but honestly, there should be a new category just for him. If these 3 deaths hit that perfect mix of insane, heroic, and history is wilder than fiction, tell me in the comments which epic category you want next. Epic last words? Epic executions? Epic comebacks right before dying? Epic betrayals? And of course, don't forget to drop the country you're watching from. History belongs to all of us, and sometimes it's crazier than any movie we could make. See you in the next chapter of history.